what's next. You know what's next. You know what's next.
What? 70 mil Sancho, that's gang. And about 4-5 mil with add-ons. And about 45 mil for Varane. Let me tell you something. If that man lands, you know what's next like Dave Santan. 4 Champions Leagues, I'm like, goddamn. 3 league titles, fam, you're the man. What? 70 mil Sancho, that's gang. And about 4-5 mil with add-ons. And about 45 mil for Varane. Let me tell you something. If that man lands, you know what's next like Dave Santan. 4 Champions Leagues, I'm like, goddamn. 3 league titles, fam, you're the man. What? Yo, this is the OT99 Banter Room where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Look, we're back again with another show. It's your boy Firms, and I'm here with NK. And you know what? Here we go.
Here we go.
Look. This has been long overdue, NK. It is finally, the day has finally come. Look, I'm breaking this news late. Obviously, we know in social media it's been all over. It's broke the net. Jaden Sancho has moved to Manchester United. It's finally been agreed. Sky Sports, BBC, journalists all over the world. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano himself has come out and said, you know what? The deal is complete, subject to a medical or whatever. The deal's done. What I'm hearing is Manchester United paid £73 million. And there'll be some add-ons as well. But Manchester United has managed to agree a deal, a payment structure over 5 years, I'm hearing, which is really good because obviously Manchester United won't be parting with all of the sum up front, but then we'll still be parting with a significant amount up front. But that may help because, that little bit that we haven't parted with straight away, we can use that money and obviously plug it into gaps elsewhere. It seems like everyone this season cost somewhere between 40 to 60 million. So if you can save 10 million or 20 million of that money, it's 50% or whatever it is towards getting the player that you need to support. So look, I am fully gassed. He is here.
Right.
How does this sound though? Cavani.
Well, obviously,
Let me tell you, Cavani, Greenwood, Pogba, Bruno, Martial, Rashford.
I know, and see, you know what? This is what I'm talking about. I mean, look, I'm happy Sancho is gonna join up with the squad. Right now, I can't even tell you what any attack in the Premiership that can match our attack. It's not just the 3 selected too. It is also the backup too. The competition for place on the front line, it is ridiculous, And this is what we need for the manager. This is what we need for the manager. This is as fun. That's what we want to see. Now it's just up to Ole to get the best out of this. Now I think everybody we are trying to give Ole the squad where he does not have an excuse not to deliver. Yeah. Last season there was a bit about we don't have that much attacking force or we don't have people creating. There's so much excuses about Man United cannot break defense because so much excuse. But players like Sancho take those excuses from you. You gain the tools. The question is, what you gonna do with the tools? You're gonna have Sancho.
What you gonna do?
Right.
What you
You're gonna have
do?
Sancho, Greenwood, Cavani, Martial. You cannot just end up playing Daniel James and then Mata starts it when these guys are chilling on the bench. That's just not gonna happen. It just won't happen.
Look. I'm so excited. I don't even know where to even begin. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Manchester United were after Sancho. I think the figure was somewhere between 120 million euros last year or something like that. 110 million.
Yeah, 108 pounds. 108.
Yeah. Manchester United has now got him for 73. Let me do the maths quickly because it's not my strongest point. Let me get my calculator out.
Right.
I think how much? So they wanted 108 million pounds, right? And we've bought him for 73.
Yep.
So we've saved 35 million pounds. Now to you, does that sound like it was justified for Manchester United not to get him last season? Do you feel like it was on our part good business? Do you feel like it was justified, or do you feel like, no, you would have preferred for Manchester United to get him last season because we potentially, with Jaden Sancho, could have gone on to lift Europa League or a trophy, or, you know, or a trophy, whatever that is?
The thing is, it's very, we talk about, yes, we saved 35 million, but you just don't know. You ask yourself a question like, can someone like Jaden Sancho, could he have helped United get far in the Champions League? You know, because we were in the Champions League, could we possibly help us win the Champions League? If you won the Champions League, how much money could we have got? Could he have helped us win the Premiership? You know, these are all the kind of questions. And the question is, you just don't know, because last season we had so much draws that if he was in that team, could he have helped turn those draws into a win? You know, you just don't know. And you can say, yes, it's 35 million saved for us. But then Dortmund too can say, hey, you know what? He helped us get to a Champions League, and that Champions League can literally replace that kind of like money like from them. But I'm hearing that they are not happy with the deal because of obviously the payment structure. They're not happy with the deal, but Sancho wanted to leave, so they had no option but to find out a deal that kind of like suit both parties. So in a way, I don't think we have saved 35 million, and I don't think we have lost 35 million. I just feel like we just got him at the right time, because last season, maybe he could have helped us win the Europa League, or maybe we wouldn't have even been in the Europa League anyways. Or would he have changed maybe us winning the trophy? Yeah, sure. But winning trophies, how much money does it really bring the club? You know, like it don't really bring that much money in terms of like
Europa.
Not Europa. So money-wise, no. But maybe as a fan point of view, in terms of like joy and happiness in our face, maybe I would say yes, because maybe he could have helped us win maybe 1 or 2 cups, and that could have justified the signing.
I feel like, although I'm upset that Manchester United didn't get that deal over the line, because I did feel like it was going to happen last season. My thing about Manchester United, and you know what, you can't please everyone. I feel like Manchester United, if you're taking a turn and saying, do you know what, I'm not going to be paying these amounts of sums for someone that I don't feel is worth it, or I'm not going to be paying these wages for someone I don't feel like is worth it. I do feel that, you know, they need to take that stand. And you know, my only thing is that if you need your plan Bs, you know, I mean, with Jaden Sancho, I really wanted him at Manchester United. I didn't see any alternatives, so I'm really happy that we stuck with our guns with him. But, you know, like Liverpool did with Van Dijk, you know, they didn't get him one season, they stuck with their guns. But I do want to see us in future saying, you know what, if you're too expensive, there needs to be a plan B of another guy out there that you know and you have faith that can equally do the job. And that's where our scouting network comes in. That's where our board comes in. You know what I mean? You've got your Murtough and all of these guys that should be putting in the groundwork as the season is commencing. Like, they should be working on now for 2022, 2023. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
You got a big enough squad. You know what I mean? But let's move on, because let me just finish off with this statement. So this is a club statement. Manchester United is delighted to announce it has reached an agreement in principle with Borussia Dortmund for transfer of Jaden Sancho. Signing subject to contractual terms and a medical, which will be completed after Jadon's involvement in the UEFA European Championship. Look,
yeah.
Many people thought it will be over by now. England's still there. After the tournament, he's going to do his medical. He's going to be wearing that shirt. And look, it is going to be happy that And you know what? A lot of us, just to wrap this bit up, a lot of us have been so caught up in the transfer news. When is it going to be done? Dragging out. That a lot of us fans, the Man United fan base, has forgot that Jaden Sancho, what we're getting, the quality that we're getting. Yeah, nothing's guaranteed with signings coming to the Premier League from different leagues. We all know that. But all you can do is go out there, scout your players, you know, see the traits and characteristics that you want of a player and bring them in if you think they're top quality. And that's what we've did with Sancho. Sancho's not an overnight thing. We've been scouting him since he left Manchester City. We made an offer for him in 2017. Do you know what I mean? So this is not something that is out of the blue.
Yeah, he's been a long transfer, you know, a long transfer. We wanted him before he went to Dortmund, and then City didn't sell us there too. So they just started there. Look, he's a quality player. We know him. There, I don't see him failing. I feel like Ole, and then some of the players like Bruno, Pogba, there, even Marcus Rashford, like Machado, like there is like a foundation there for him to succeed there. He just needs to go there, put his head down, and he is gonna hit the ground running. He trained with the England national team, so he know the intensity that there. He's playing the Champions League too. He's not only done in the German League, he's done it in the what do you call it? In the Champions League too. He's gonna. I don't think he will find any problem adjusting to the Premier League. I'm not expecting him to give the same numbers that he's getting at Dortmund. Because he might probably not start all the games. He will start some of them, but you know about Oli probably just try to make sure that the hype around him comes down a bit where he doesn't throw him in deep end, and we would want him to be thrown in the deep end too. But I feel like he would just slowly ease him into way and kind of a thing. But I don't know. With Oli, I trust that he's gonna manage him well to get the best out of him. So yeah, I'm looking for Sancho in a Man United shirt. I'm really looking forward to it now.
I'm excited as well. I mean, I've been trying to wrap up on Sancho to move on, but I can't. I think when you talk little things, this reminds me of little things. So I just feel like with Sancho, I know there's that worry that he may not hit the ground running or whatever like that. My thing is that he's young. He's done it in the Champions League, like you said. He's doing it in Dortmund. I think I saw some stats of Jaden Sancho where he's averaging a goal or an assist in every single game over the space of 3 years. If you average it, so it's something that you with the scouting we couldn't go any wrong. And if you look at, is he going to hit the ground running? You look at guys like Grealish. He's played English football. Yes, he's played in the Premier League. He's never done it on the international stage, or he's never done it in the Champions League or anything like that. He hits the ground running for the England squad, and he's arguably one of, it's not even arguably, he is one of England's best players. Do you know what I mean? He's the one that helped with Sterling, helped progress us. And if you look at Sancho, people saying, he can't get picked. Why? How can you be paying him so much money and he can't even get a start? For me, Grealish was struggling to get minutes on that pitch. He came on, you saw what he had to do. Do you know what I mean? Jude Bellingham, I've seen what he's done in Dortmund. He's had a good impact in Dortmund. I say he was voted like one of the young players of the German players of the year. Do you know what I mean? So it's about the manager having faith and picking these players. We've seen what the right back is that, he just won a Champions League for Chelsea. Reece James. He's not getting game time, so you know how good of a player he is.
Oh, yeah. Chilwell's not getting game time, so he won the Champions League. Look,
there's a lot of players. Do you know what I mean?
Forget about England.
Exactly. And I don't see it as, I don't bear that any mind about people saying, we paid 70 odd million, all this money, and he can't even start, and Saka start over him. Because I don't need the Euros to tell me how good a player is. I've seen these players over the course of 10, 20, 30 games, whatever like that in the Premier League or in the Dutch leagues or whatever for me to understand. I don't need 2, 3 or 4 games to help clarify that, but that's just my personal view. But moving on. Look, obviously Manchester United has got this deal done, and you know what? It feels like there is signs to me that Manchester United's methodology has changed in terms of how we operate in the transfer market. Now, I know Ed Woodward is still there. He was heavily involved in this Sancho deal. I'm pretty sure he's going to be heavily involved in other deals that we've got going on until he eventually leaves, whenever that is. But what I'm hearing with Manchester United is we're linked to, Camavinga. We're linked with Torres. We're linked with Varane. We're linked with, it seems like we've got backup options. And yeah, people may not like certain players, even Declan Rice. But it just seems like Manchester United has got these names in place and we're actively pursuing them. Now, look, Varane. It has to be Varane that we go on to. So I'm going to talk about Varane. And I'm going to read you some quotes that I've seen, yeah? So one. This is the main one, right? Because this is coming from Florentino Perez. If you're going to listen to anyone, you got to be hearing the words that's coming out of Florentino Perez's mouth, right? So he says this. We have not received any official bid for Rafael Varane. He is at the Euros now, then we will see what happens. So this is obviously before they got knocked out. Yeah. If he wants to leave the club this summer, he'll say it. Now, we've got ESPN reporting saying, talks between Man United and Rafael Varane have accelerated in recent hours. Although nothing is agreed or signed, the gap between the two parties in terms of the contract demands and the offer that Man United are willing to make has narrowed considerably in recent hours. Now, this is all news coming out today. Got more news saying Real Madrid defender Rafael Varane is in discussions with Manchester United and could take the direction of England this summer. Nothing has been signed yet, but the position of the two parties have moved closer in recent years. So that's Julian Maynard that came out with that tweet. Sky Sports are saying, you would have probably seen this, Man United are interested in signing Rafael Varane. Initial talks have taken place and Varane remains a player United have under consideration. Although other clubs are thought to be interested, including PSG. So PSG. Now I'll get onto the PSG bit in a minute. So a Norwegian sort of journalist, I'll take this one, probably he's okay in the credibility world, but if you're listening to reports, it's probably the ones that hold more weight will be those coming out of maybe Spain or even French, those people that have those ties. This guy's saying Man United are cautiously optimistic about Rafael Varane. They have had him at the top of their wish list and are trying to sign him. They have several alternative names in the background if they do not get him. So that was all of the news, and there's plenty more. Even as I'm on this call, there's plenty more that's been discussed about Rafael Varane. And for me, one thing I do know is the interest is real. The interest is there. Also, I know that Rafael Varane is not happy with the terms of the contract that he's been offered from Real Madrid. And it's either he gets a new contract or he leaves in the Premier League. Now, for you, NK, do you feel like Varane is the right man for Manchester United? One, and do you feel like this deal could happen this season?
Oh, without doubt, he's the right man there. Without doubt. Like, you look at the centre backs that is out there, and it don't get better than him. He's a Champions League winner, a World Cup winner, a Spanish League winner. Like, you know, he's got the experience too. And I feel like the United squad, to one thing that we are building now too, is we got a blend of like young and experience, you know. It's more looking like the attack is more young, the back is more experienced, in a way, you know. Yeah. And then you go, when they will be trying to add leadership to it too. Veron's leadership skills is beyond a doubt, you know. Maguire too, leader. Bruno Fernandes, leader, you know. Cavani, leader. So you got all these leaders in your dressing room, plus these young players too, and you are literally building something amazing. I told you, like, my United squad, you just like 2-3 players away from it to just being a world-class fan. And you know what? This remind me of Liverpool. You know, when Liverpool was trying to like the bomb money, the ball Salah, and then you just look like you were just missing like 2 pieces of the ball, the ball Van Gaal, and then you just look like, okay, what's next now? And the goalkeeper sorted out. And then everybody was talking about, okay, now they're going for the title. I feel with Varane comes in, one DM, and everybody is gonna be shook. And you know what? Sometimes you don't win a Premiership. What do you call it before the kick-off? But then when teams see your team coming out there, they get scared. Now you got Maguire and Varane as your centre back. Ain't no striker gonna go out there to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go in and bully them. They will not go in there with the confidence. They will go there with caution, you know, and that caution alone can take a little bit of performance out of them. Literally take a bit of performance out of them. So, yeah, I really think this deal can get done. I really feel the thing about United is there is no smoke without fire. There is no smoke without fire. That's one thing I know about United. If there is smoke out there, this Varane thing is not going. The only thing that we for maybe can spoil this deal was Real Madrid offering him a new contract because people feel like maybe he's using us. I don't think Madrid will give him a better contract that they got Alba in for free, that they put a lot of money onto him to get him. Therefore, on a free transfer, they will not give the same wage they gave him to Varane. No way, because if they do that, then other players will want that too. I feel like their main focus is also trying to kind of like get Mbappe through the door. So they're just doing everything possible to get money. The Spanish club are really broke. You look at Barcelona, they can't even get Messi to sign a new contract. They are very, very broke. So I feel like that. And then the only another player team too that could have got it was PSG. We know they're signing a certain Mr. Someone too. So, and I know with United too, before they even speak to Real Madrid, it means that the contract bait with the player is not a problem. Yeah. So I'm sure they've talked to Varane's agent and they have agreed wages for him and have given him the green light. Like, look, if you can get Real Madrid to accept an offer, we already got a deal there in place. So it's just about Real Madrid just sorting out. And you know what? It's going to drag on. It always drag on maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But I already told you, I see Varane becoming Man United player before the 1st of August. I know that for sure. My source told me.
Max Sauce.
Right.
Look. So, you know, that confidence you have, you know, it's a gas for a lot of Manchester United fans. I'm approaching it cautiously as well, with a bit of optimism, because I don't want to get too carried away. Yeah. I don't want to get too excited. Your camera's gone a bit, NK, but hopefully it comes back. I don't want to get carried away. I don't want to get too excited and then go through the heartbreak like we did with Sergio Ramos. But there is a lot more substance to Varane, it feels, now than we went through with Sergio Ramos. It just feels like there's a lot more people talking about it, a lot more credible people talking about it. It is a realistic option. So what I've heard, obviously, is that Varane has rejected 2 contract offers from Real Madrid. They was actually reducing like the money that they were offering him. So I think he's on about 200 a week, roughly. They actually reduced that in the offer that, you know, that they made to him, which is kind of a disrespect for someone that's got how many Champions Leagues under his belt and a World Cup. And for me, just put it like this. For me, your camera's gone again. What's happening with your camera, NK?
Getting a phone call, that's why.
Okay, no worries. For me, whilst he's gone and sorting out his sort of calls, I'm going to continue it. Look, so for me, I'm looking at it like this. You've got a World Cup winner. He's won ample amount of Champions Leagues. 3, 4, I don't know. You know, he's won La Liga. How many times? He's been at Real Madrid for what? Almost a decade, I would say, or something around that region. He's given so much to the club. And he's not getting reaping the rewards for all of that in terms of his contract. It's not reflected in his contract. It's not reflected in what the board feel, think of him. He's not being valued as you're back, Inky. He's not being valued as a top priority person for the club. And every player is going to want to feel that they are a key person of your squad, and how you show them that is reflected in the contract length and the money that you offer them. And quite frankly, if you're reducing these money, that's kind of showing me that you don't quite value me that much. And so if it was me, right, and I was in Varane's shoes, I'll be thinking this. Ramos, who I've been partnering, is on like 400. He's now gone, right? I partnered with Umtiti on 1 titles for Real Madrid. So no one can say it was just solely down to Ramos, that the reason why our centre-back partnership was, doing well, the defence was doing well. 2, you've went out there, even though it was for free, you went out there and brought in David Alaba and gave him roughly 400k a week.
And my guy's not even a centre-back.
And he's not a centre-back, right? Now, he's probably going to replace Marcelo, wherever it is, but you happily gave him that money, but then you're coming to me and giving me all of these terms and conditions about how you can't give me the money that I feel like I deserve. If I was Varane, I'm already set the benchmark at what Ramos is on, because this is probably going to be Varane's last big contract, so he's going in. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So for me, I'm thinking Varane roughly wants about 400k. Alaba just got 400k. So there's no way on earth Varane's going to be like, okay, yeah, I'll accept 250 or something measly like that, or 300. I feel like he's going to want the full bag because he's like 28 now, and it's going to be his last big contract. He's in his prime. Now, for me, I won't be having that. One, I won't be happy that Alaba's just coming and got this money and you're giving me reduced fees. I won't be happy. So I'm thinking this. Can Real Madrid offer Varane not only those wages, but the years that he wants? Do you know what I mean? So if if Real Madrid can offer the money, the wages, and offer 400k, fair enough. Like if you can magically do that, great. But the money's gonna double if you're offering him a 2-year contract versus a 4-year contract. Can you manage to pay Varane and commit to that type of money, where it will be 400k a week over the space of 3-4 years or whatever he's gonna want? Because I think Manchester United will offer that. I really do feel Manchester United.
Without a doubt, United, look, without a doubt, as I said to you, without a doubt, United will go and slap 350k a week on him easily. But the thing about, I don't know, with Real Madrid, I know a lot of like United fans are worried whether he's going to use us. I don't think so. As I told you, Varane, to me, 200% he's leaving. Whether United get a deal done is another thing, because clubs like Chelsea, they're very quiet. They can come from nowhere else and just give him something too. I worry about Chelsea maybe spoiling the party too. But with Varane too, and then another thing that kind of like make me signal that he's leaving too is he has been because I heard that the contract that they were trying to offer him was also with the captaincy. They were also going to give him the captaincy, because obviously Ramos has left now, and naturally Marcelo hardly even play games for Real Madrid these days. So naturally he would have gone to someone who played more, and he was probably like the next person in line, because he has been one of the long-serving players at Real Madrid. So he was most of the chance to get him like it. But now they've officially given it to Marcelo, who hardly even played, who is not even their first choice left back, So that tells you something. And Real Madrid got a history too of when players to like do their time, they kind of like sell them on, make money, and then bring in new kind of like people inside, And I feel like the way their squad is going to, they need a bit of like Spanish players in there. Like this season, they went into the European Championship without no Spanish player in that team. Yeah. And a club of Real Madrid, that is bad. They always have a bit of like foreign and Spanish, When if you look at the squad right now, there's no a bit of Spanish. And I feel like Real Madrid might target Torres. I really feel like they might target Torres with their money that they're going to get. So, I don't know. I just see some big development coming up in the next like few weeks. So France obviously getting knocked out early too will help speed up this deal. And I expect probably in the next week or two, United to go in with their low ball offers, to Real Madrid. Probably like maybe probably say 35 to 40 million, which will get rejected probably, because we know it's going to be like a long structure. And I expect them to go back again with another maybe 45. I feel like 48 million will do it. 48 million we would do it, because in terms of like a contract, they will give that guy. You don't go and give a World Cup star like 250. They will give him the wages that he won. They will meet him in the middle. They will meet him.
They'll definitely give him that money. I think they would even go up to 400k. I feel Manchester United will, because if you look at everything he's won, the person he is, the leader he is, I feel like we will. I feel like we will offer him 4 years, and I feel like we will offer him up to 400k. I feel like we would make him the most expensive, or at least on parity with David De Gea. Do you know what I mean? Because I know Pogba's probably going to get that if he does do this contract renewal. If he does do the contract renewal, he'll get that or more. So for me, I feel like Varane, it's not a problem with the wages. I feel like we'll offer him them contract length, whatever. My thing is so there's been a few queries about Varane. So I know people are a bit cautious. They said, he didn't have a good Euros. Said he kind of like looked a bit off, like aerially when those crosses are coming in. Like, he kind of got.
Oh man, I saw that guy hit a box.
For me, right, I did see a France defense that was disorganized. I did see that. It wasn't solely down to Varane. I must say that. But obviously, when you have a back four, you would want someone like Varane to help organize that for you and take control. But I did see individual brilliance and performance from Varane. And like I said before, the Euros is not something that I look at and say, this is, I'm determining how good you are based on that. Like, I already know everything I need to know from what I've seen of Varane over the years now. Varane, fortunately, is one of those players that a lot of us have seen. It's not like he's one of these other guys that's in a random squad that you don't really watch. Like, he played for Real Madrid. Real Madrid is top billing football. You've watched how many El Clasicos, you've watched how many times where your team, Premier League teams, are up against Real Madrid, even as recent as, Champions League, where Man City was playing against Real Madrid. Like, we see enough of him. And for me, Varane, there's no other defender out there with the credentials, stature, skill set that we have. Because I really did try to tee it up. I really did look at your Pau Torres, Conde, who else is there? Your Ben Whites. Who else is of those that are even attainable? There's other defenders out there. It's Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos is 35 years old. He's very short-term. Injury prone. We've seen it now. Pau Torres, I really don't understand the hype with Pau Torres. I feel like Pau Torres is not giving us anything significantly better than what we have in our centre-back position already. That's just me personally. Not like to say he won't come and do well, but Lindelof came and did well, but we still want more. Do you know? Maguire is also doing well, but we want more. And then you've got Koundé. With Koundé, he's been doing well at Sevilla. You know, he's at a Europa League level, and he's trying to make the step up to Champions League type level. But there's question marks again with his height. People are worried about that. Yes, he can like got a good leap on him, but there's still question marks there on whether they can adapt and transition over to the Premier League. And I saw Koundé playing on the right back as well for France in one of those games. And for me, I was just like, I really don't like to see a defender that you would call a specialist centre-back being a utility player like that and also being able to play on the right. You would never see a Van Dijk playing on the right. And maybe there's, defenders that can do it that are equally good, but I just don't personally like seeing it. I like centre-backs to be centre-backs and not wing-backs and centre-backs, So I didn't like that. And obviously he didn't have a good game that game as well. But yeah, for me, I really need to see Varane lifting that shirt. And there's all the credible sources that are talking about this deal. There is smoke, there is fire, there's all that malarkey. And for me, it really does come down to the money, because what I'm hearing is he could still stay. It's not, he hasn't completely shut the door on Real Madrid. He hasn't. He just needs that money. If Real Madrid was to turn around tomorrow and say 400k, Varane will sign that deal.
Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think it would take because I feel like the relationship between Perez and Varane has broken. That's one. Real Madrid it's not even about the manager. It's always about the president. Once the relationship with the president kind of like get broken, there's no way back for you. Literally no way back for you. It's a bit like Gareth Bale. They've been trying to sell Gareth Bale for years now, but no one would take that kind of like wages off the bill. They're not going to offer Varane that, and they don't want to lose him on a free too. If Varane decides to say, if the only reason why he stay is if Man United or any club don't meet the transfer variation for him. And even that, Real Madrid will still try to get whatever they can, but they will not let him live for free, especially when they are trying to get money, they raise money themselves. So I see that transfer happening. I won't be surprised if they start offering him to other clubs. And they will offer him to other clubs if Man United just try to just do that. And a lot of clubs will take him. A lot of clubs will take him. If Chelsea would probably like take him, maybe it's just the wages too, but a lot of clubs will take him. This is a World Cup Champions League player you're talking about, It don't come any better than that. And I saw the Euros. I saw most of the France games too. Look, I don't care what people talk about, but I look at what United are looking for in terms of like a new defender that we lack. Leadership, I saw him leading the back line. Headering set pieces too, I saw him win a bunch of headers too. Pace. Look, my guy got pace. I saw him one time literally run and get a ball because France play high line too. So I saw him just literally run and get a ball too. I got no problem. He when he come to, Maguire will look over his shoulders and he knows that, look, I got a guy here, so I need to step up my game. Watching Maguire play with John Stones too, he has improved. He literally got the man of the match against Germany. Obviously, they were playing for at the back too, but still, Varane can play for at the back. So whatever formation you want to play with, we got the guys to do it. And I've been telling you from obviously our little conversation, I said, look, Sancho and Varane, United are going to sign. Anybody else apart from that, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. But Sancho and Varane, it is a deal that's going to get done. The owners know that. The owners know that, like Sancho, they know that Sancho is good signing for us, but it don't make us happy. Yeah. I go excited for 5 minutes after that. I say, okay, then get me a centre back. When they get us a centre back, it's gonna be like, okay, get us a centre mid. The centre mid. I'm not sure if we will have enough time to get that deal down, because I told you that this Varane deal will probably take another like 2 weeks or so. Maybe I'm telling you, maybe it will probably get done. Maybe, I don't know, depending on how United kind of like just do it. But I'm expecting this deal to be done between the 14th to 1st of August, because I know it's going to drag on a little bit. And then between that to when we started season 2, we got like 14 days, and then around August time to sort out like a center mate. I feel like Kevin Trippier too, we might be able to sort it out, but they will play a long ball game with that one too. But Varane and Sancho, 200% sure. Varane is gonna come. Don't worry about that. But
do you know what?
If he doesn't come, this is a question, and this is what I was trying to say. If he doesn't come, who do you go get? Because we need a centre back.
So this is the thing. So obviously, Pau Torres is looking like on a plate, right? Manchester United, I've definitely seen Pau Torres as a viable option to get, right? The thing about Pau Torres is that his value is 55. We already heard it confirmed. 65 million euros, 55 million pounds. Villarreal's not hearing anything less. Now, when you look at 55 million pounds and then you look at Varane, who's going for less than that, then it doesn't even make sense. You've got to go all out and try to get Varane. Even if you offer Varane 60, even if you offer Varane 65 or 70 for a guy that's leaving on a year, or be free in January, it even makes more sense to me still than paying 55 million, because you're only paying what, 15, 20 million more,
right,
to get secure Varane over Pau Torres. Right. I just don't. But
I don't see that. And Oli will be telling them like, look, first of all, Pau Torres play on the left hand side, which is where Maguire plays. So bringing him in, you're gonna have to shift Maguire to the right and then play Pau Torres on the left, because it's a left-footed too. That's number one problem you got. You're going to have to change the back line. So then all of a sudden, Luke Shaw, who has got an understanding with, Maguire, has to now start a new understanding too. And then Maguire, that's one problem. Second problem too, he's inexperienced. And he will going to come in and Oli got trust problem too. And he will have 1 or 2 bad games and Oli will go back to Lindelof to say, hey, you know what? My guy Lindelof is there. Yeah. And as a board, you don't want to go and waste another 55 million on a player that you might move on. It's going to be the same situation as Van der Beek. Yes, he was good, but he was not better as what we have. Varane is better than what we have in every aspect. And even if he had 1 bad game, 2 bad game, you're going to give him a whole season to have a bad game before you drop that guy. And that is a fact.
Yeah. I agree with everything with that. I feel like Varane, however much people say, he's not what he used to be or he's falling off, he is still, you would find it very difficult to name 5 centre-backs in the world that's better than Varane. You'll struggle. I mean, what, it'll get to a point where you start clutching at names and trying to force feed the situation and make it seem right. Like he is definitely there. Top 5 centre-backs out there in the world. And that's just, just period. So what is good news is the fact that Chelsea, not Chelsea, PSG have signed Sergio Ramos. So that news came out. Fact, Sergio Ramos is gone to PSG. He signed a contract to 2023. I think he got a 2-year contract. I'm not sure what his wages is, but he's gone there. Now, for me, I know PSG could potentially pull it off, but for me, it doesn't make sense for PSG to now go in for Varane when you have just secured Sergio Ramos, who, is the best centre-back in the world. For me, it doesn't make sense. You've got Marquinhos and you've got Kimpembe, are 2 decent centre-backs, really good centre-backs. For you now to have Sergio Ramos and then go out and splash the money on Varane, what are you going to do with the Sergio Ramos that you just brought in, that is God on once starting game time? What are you going to do with Marquinhos and Kimpembe? It's, for me, PSG, by making that signing, has ruled themselves out. For me, Chelsea again is another team that's been linked with him. But for me, I feel like they've got Thiago, is it Silva, whatever that they gave that extension to. They've already extended him. They're covered in that things. Yeah, Varane might be someone that they want, but I feel like he's not their main priority. I feel like Chelsea's main priority is a striker. They're probably going to be looking at trying to secure Haaland or something along those lines. And putting all their money and resources towards that. So for me, the door is opened if Real Madrid cannot find a solution with this guy's contract. For me, it's looking like there's an opportunity there, smash and grab. There's an opportunity there to secure his services, and I'm all here for it, man.
Right, and I told you, I've been telling you the whole summer that I don't think he'll want to go to PSG. I've told you, you know what? Don't mistake it. PSB did go speak to him. They did go speak to him. Don't get me wrong. And his agent would have told him, like, look, he's not interested in coming back to Paris. And that would have been it. He's not interested. If PSG signed Ramos, it means that they were looking for a centre back, and they would have made a conversation, a contact with his agent.
That's a fair point.
And trust me, they did, because they were looking for a centre back. And you know what? If a player like Varane is going to be cheap for like 50 million pounds, a whole lot of it, they did make it. And I told you, he don't want to go to Paris. He don't want to go back to France. So he would have told him, like, look, no,
maybe they're just holding out till Jan. Maybe they're thinking, you know what, he's going to be free in Jan. So
no. Signing Ramos just closed the door for them. And I feel like Varane was trying to use those kind of like rumors to just get a more good wages from United, or maybe Real Madrid, whoever is just going to do that. But PSG, I don't think he was ever interested in going to it. Same thing that Pogba is not interested in going back to France. If Pogba is going to go back to France, they would have given him what Gareth Bale is on now, which is £650,000 for him to go there. These players, proper world-class players will not go to PSG unless they are offering money. They got Mbappe, who even want to leave. And I'm telling you, even next summer, bro, see Man United offer Mbappe 700 a week for him.
Hey, let me lock up this thing. This guy is chatting.
I'm just telling you about Varane. Varane. No, wow. Look, Mbappe is a situation. I don't want to talk about it, but it is something got to keep up.
Let's not talk
about it, but I'm just saying. But the Varane deal, look, probably, as I said, PSG went in there. They told PSG that Chelsea is a team that I get very, very worried about them, because you just never know what they do. They're a very last minute thing. They have just lost a deal to PSG for the winger. They just lost that. So something just told me that they probably don't have the kind of like money they need when it comes to competition. If PSG beat them to that left back, then we are definitely going to beat them to to the centre back, because nobody pay more wages like cash money, Man United. Wages, we splashing. Transfer fee, we stingy. But when it comes to wages, bro, we be blowing. We be making it rain.
Make it rain.
Make it rain on the wages, bro. Make it rain on the wages, but yeah, I see like that.
So talking about centre backs, if we move on slightly, so obviously we know Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Manchester United. I can't remember what it was, maybe a 3-year, whatever it is. He signed a new contract. Tuanzebe been saying he's not been getting enough game time. He's probably going to go out on loan. Eric Bailly said publicly that if he doesn't get the minutes that he wants, he's going to leave as well. I read a report, I think it was in the Manchester Evening News, that Villarreal could potentially go for Eric Bailly if Pau Torres is to get signed. Like maybe they can go back in for him and sign him again. Now, I feel that makes quite a lot of sense if Pau Torres leaves. I feel like Villarreal, that'll be a good move for Eric Bailly, go back to what he knows. And I do feel like we'll be able to get at least 20 million for him, Eric Bailly, if he goes back. Now, I'm thinking that, obviously with Varane coming in, if he comes in, and then we've got Maguire, you've got Lindelof as a sub person, and then you're probably going to want one more. Now, if Tuanzebe is going out on loan, maybe Eric Bailly will do one more year, and then he'll potentially move on. And that's what I can see happening in that centre back sort of scenario there. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But look, there's a lot of news going on, and I'm gassed. Look, let's just round this off. So one more thing is Declan Rice. Now, I've heard news about Declan Rice. Now, he's not everyone's cup of tea. He's certainly not my cup of tea. He's a decent player, I feel like, for a certain level club. But for Manchester United, no, I don't feel like he is. From what I know of Declan Rice, he's a disciplined guy. He's a young dude. He's lacking a bit of pace, a bit of mobility that we need to cover the ground. I mean, if we're looking for anything that we have with Scott McTominay and Fred, I don't think Declan Rice is going to do that with his physicality and mobility, because I just don't feel like he gets around the pitch like that. I feel like when I see him, and he get burnt. He's doing a lot of chasing and he just looks like helpless. But what I'm hearing is that he's rejected contract offers. Again, he's rejected, I think, 2 contract offers from West Ham. This is a guy that certainly wants to move on. He doesn't see his long-term future being at West Ham. And Chelsea and Manchester United's name is in the mix as 2 teams that potentially, tickle his interest. But obviously, Chelsea is his main sort of priority.
Right.
Now, do you see Declan Rice making that move? Because West Ham value him at £100 million. Do you see Chelsea, with everything they've got going on with Haaland or whatever like this, even if they don't get Haaland, do you see anyone forking out that type of money that will make West Ham convince them to sell him on or move him on?
I am 200% certain that Declan Rice is going to be a West Ham player come the transfer window. Like, first of all, it's not even the price tag to the price tag is just going to be there, but we just know that he can force the move all he wants. It's going to be hard for him to leave. And I feel like the fact that West Ham also go to Europa League too might just convince him to stay, because then he get to kind of like play like in Europe, get the Europe experience too before someone is going to go and kind of like splash that kind of like cash there too. West Ham have not been making no plans whatsoever to indicate that they are going to lose a player of that kind of like caliber. They just go, Europa League, and then my guess is they will just try and kind of like push it on, try to get this just Lindegaard kind of like deal done, or just kind of like strengthen. So no, and I don't feel like United, you know how we are with the transfer thing. West Ham are going to elongate, we're going to elongate, and it's just, I don't think, I feel like this is someone that Oli don't want to play. Oli want to get his transfer dealing done before the season kickoff, and then after that, it's just all about just literally selling and selling and selling. Declan Rice, no. We will. I have this strong feeling that we will get a centre mid, because we're going to lose Matic. Matic is definitely going to go, and we will get one in. What kind of like quality we're going to get in, I'm not so kind of like sure the kind of like quality we're going to get inside too. The guy in France, what's his name again?
Camavinga.
He kind of like makes sense. He kind of like makes sense too, because he's young. He got 1 year left on his contract too, and Rennes don't want to leave him for free. Surprisingly, I haven't seen a lot of clubs kind of like going in for him. And if it does, the thing about players is that you don't hear a lot of clubs going in for them, because their agent probably told them like, my player is not interested in coming to your club. You know, when you go to FM, and then you try to sign some big players, and then they might tell you like, they are not coming to your club because they don't miss your ambition, like them type of ones there. So I feel like he probably have spoken to like a few clubs. There's some clubs that he would like to go to, Real Madrid being one. You know, the Real Madrid, your Barcelona, your Bayern Munich, like them top clubs that play in the Champions League. He will go to that. PSG apparently just that. PSG stand like kind of like when Newman, who's very experienced too. They're talking about Pogba, but I don't feel like anything is in Pogba. If anything with Pogba, they will wait and get him on the free transfer rather than get him like this season. I know that for a fact. So I don't know. We will get someone. I just don't know who we will get in that side.
I'll tell you my theory of this centre mid thing before we wrap up. Yeah. So Manchester United has been linked with a lot of midfielders, right? We've been linked with Goretzka. That one's been a little bit more recent, but apparently, he wants to stay at Bayern and he wants to, sort out his contract there. We've been linked with Camavinga as well for the last week or two. His priority is PSG, but the contract has got to be sorted out one way or another. His sort of future situation, and also we've been linked with Declan Rice. Obviously, his priority is Chelsea. But, if they don't come through with the offer and somehow we magically have some money, then obviously Man United, I know Ollie's a big fan of him. We've been linked with, is there anyone else? I'm sure there is.
So from Atletico Madrid to
We've been linked to Saul Niguez as well. We've been linked with quite a lot of names, right? And for me, it only gives me, I'm starting to have an inkling that is something happening with Pogba, that we're being linked with so many names. What Do you know what I mean? What are we preparing for so much like this if we're not trying to do a deal in season? Because what I do know is this: Manchester United's not going to be linked with some of these names if Pogba was staying. If we had the inkling that he's staying or he's signed a new contract, Man United won't be looking at these type of caliber of midfielders. I feel like we'll be, because if you look at Camavinga, that only screams to me Pogba replacement. Goretzka, that only screams to me Pogba replacement. Do you know what I mean? I don't see Declan Rice is clearly not a Pogba replacement, but if you're talking about the amount of money that you're going to put into him, it's going to be Declan Rice and no other midfielder. So my thing is just like Manchester United are linked with all of these midfielders. It's just giving me, it's whether it's happening or not, I don't know. But the message I'm getting from all of that is that something could potentially be happening with Pogba in the background where he's not giving Manchester United any indication that he wants to stay, or maybe there's some discussions happening in the background of who, where, I don't know. Because it's a lot of names in midfielders. It looks active. I mean, you look at Camavinga, 1 year left in his contract. You know, it just looks very. It just sounds very suspect. Something feels like it's off, but we'll just have to wait and see.
I don't know. I don't know if these names are linked because of Pogba, because I feel like we're gonna lose Matic, and once you lose Matic, the midfield is gonna be lighter anyway. Like the ones we got wasn't good enough anyways, and I fear for Van der Beek. I feel like he's also another player that we might end up losing to. So I feel like we might lose.
Anywhere. He's not going to go anywhere. Not this season.
I don't know about that. I feel like if someone coming with a good offer, they might just let him go because he's not going to play that kind of like pass thing like that. With the Pogba one, I feel I don't know. With Pogba one, it's very hard because I just don't know who's going to come for him. Like, because he don't have that much options, you know. And I feel if United again like Varane, Sancho, and stuff like that, he'll be licking his lips to just say like, "Hey, it's not that bad." And as I told you, he's still 27. Even if he signed a new 4-year deal with United, he can still do 1 year or two and still get that move to Real Madrid when he's 30 years old. He got the quality to play for another 5-6 years. Ronaldo done it, went back to Juventus and done it. So he knows it's not the end of the world for him, even if he signed a new contract with United. He get a big pay that he's been looking for anyway. No one's going to give him that except for PSG. So I don't know. With Pogba, I feel like yes, they might be making plans just in case, but I feel like United board will be very confident that Pogba will sign a new contract. I feel like they would have got encouragement because whatever is a businessman, and he is not gonna turn 400,000 a week down for nothing. He won't turn it down for Pogba. He will not turn.
What I've heard multiple times from Riola, right? From Fabrizio, is he said that Manchester United, when it comes to the midfield position, they'll make their decision on bringing in a name in that midfield position depending on what happens with Donny van der Beek and Pogba. Now, I don't know if it's Donny van der Beek where action is happening or some sort of interest is happening, or it's Pogba. For me, it only makes sense to think it's Pogba. For us to be linked at these type of people, I feel like he said, Fabrizio, it will be determined on what's happening with Donny van der Beek and Pogba. Now, because they're being linked with all of these guys, and I'm seeing Camavinga as almost like a like for like, and Goretzka, we're screaming out for DM, but yet we're getting Goretzka to be playing alongside Pogba. It doesn't make sense. Camavinga to be playing. Yeah, Camavinga he's dynamic and stuff. He can defend and he can attack, but he's not. Yeah, I mean, it could potentially work, but for me, it just seems like he's a replica, a guy that's a more raw. Take it as you want, but that's what I'm.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past United because when we get McKinsey in, probably one of them is going to end up kind of like going, because we always do this thing where we always balance our book in terms of like our net spend. We splash the money and then we sign someone. And by the time we haven't actually spent 150 million. We've already spent like about 70 million or 60 million for the whole transfer summer. So, but with Pogba one, I don't know. I feel like if Pogba was actually like leaving and stuff, there would have been a lot of noise. Like right now, like where he's gonna go. They always talk about PSG because PSG get linked to any player that they feel like they will need more wages. That's why PSG is. If Pogba really, really was interested in like leaving and stuff, you'll be hearing your Juventus, your Real Madrid, your Barcelona all into this kind of like equation. The fact that you are hearing only PSG means that someone is putting it out there to get a big contract offer. So we will have to wait and see. But I don't know. Me, one thing I know for sure, Varane and Sancho, done deal.
Varane and Sancho, here we go. Look, gas. Look, you heard it from us, man. That was a good show, to be fair. I thought that was a really good show.
Yeah.
Got a lot of the transfer news out of the way. The big headliners, there's obviously other guys that is, in the mix, but the headliners. Look, today is a good day, man. Yesterday was a good day when we heard the announcement of Jaden Sancho. Look, he is finally at Manchester United. England, Southgate is going to know what he's about. If he doesn't continue to use Sancho, fine. Look, he can use Sancho all he wants now because the deal's been done. Look, we know what we're getting. Manchester United fans know what we're getting. The Germans know what we're getting. Do you know what I mean? You saw Haaland's father come out and comment. He was saying like, "Damn it!" Like the assist king. Like we know like what he's about, and hopefully he can bring that form into the Premier.
And you know what? In like 2-3 years time, the England front line is gonna be United front line. Rashford, Greenwood, Sancho leading the World Cup. Hey, you never know. You just never know.
Boy, you already know. Look, thanks for joining us. Remember, this is the OT99 Banter Room where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and support the team. Follow us on Insta at OT99_Banter Room, Twitter at 99Banter, and TikTok at OT99 Banter Room. All one word. Like, comment, subscribe, follow the team, share, and all that jazz. We're out.